Welcome to Panels and Borders. I'm Dominic. So there's this Twitter drama going on, went on last week with Brie Larson, Netflix, and one guy on Twitter. So there's been a few videos made about it. I've watched a few videos about it, and I read this Bounding into Comics article about it. Now, I want to give my opinion on it because most of the videos I watched, they're kind of like that they comment on pop culture, but they're, I guess what you would call, they kind of got that anti-SJW leaning. So now anyone who's watched my channel long enough knows that I'm not a big fan of identity politics and modern day social justice. So I'm very critical of it and how it impacts pop culture. But now in this particular case, I have to say I disagree with the majority of videos I've watched on this. So I'm going to kind of quickly give a rundown of what happened. So here's the article. Captain Marvel star Brie Larson participates in targeted harassment against Netflix Unicorn Store critic. So basically what had happened here is Netflix posted a trailer to a new movie that Brie Larson has coming out for Netflix called Unicorn Store. So here's Netflix first tweet. So excited to share the trailer for Unicorn Store. At Brie Larson's directorial debut and an absolutely charming, heartfelt exploration of things that drive us and the creativity that adulthood often tries to extinguish. So then they posted this, and so people responded to it, and one guy's criticism was this. LOL, this looks like blah. Take notes from Jonah Hill, who was mentored by Martin Scorsese and took years before he made his directorial debut out of respect for the artistry of film and the position of director. This seems like she's just riding Captain Marvel's wave. So that was his criticism of the film. So then Netflix, for some reason, felt the need, I guess, to white knight for Brie Larson. So they responded with, Brie Larson has 58 acting credits, 53 award nominations, 2 writing credits, 2 short film directing credits, 1 composing credit, 1 producing credit, 1 Oscar, 1 feature directing credit. Been working since 1998, worked with, and they drop a bunch of names of directors and actors and stuff like that. And so anyway, then Brie Larson retweeted that. So Brie Larson has a huge following. So, of course, this guy received a lot of blowback from Brie Larson fans who disagreed with his criticism of the trailer. So anyway, then people started to say things like this one here, multi-billion-dollar media conglomerate Netflix dunks on Twitter user with 358 followers and sends 55k psychos his way so hard he has to lock his account for the sin of saying Brie Larson's directorial debut looks meh, slay queen. Not targeted harassment? Puzzled face. So, and then of course ET Canada, for whatever reason, had to poke their nose in there and say at Netflix shuts down a Twitter troll who dissed Brie Larson and the trailer for her directorial debut, hashtag Unicorn Store. So of course then ET Canada had the white knight for Brie Larson too. Okay, so first off, just because you're critical of something, that doesn't make you a troll. So that doesn't make this guy a troll just because he doesn't like this look of this movie and he didn't like the trailer. So why Netflix and that for Netflix to come in there and ET Canada white knight for Brie Larson, to me, I think that's stupid. But now, are they engaging in targeted harassment? I'm going to say no. So this is why I think this way. Because a lot of videos are saying that's what's happening here, that Brie Larson is somehow like targeting this guy and getting all of her followers after him. And so is Netflix. So when you're on social media and you're doing videos and you're tweeting, your opinions that you send out there for everyone to see, they don't exist inside of a vacuum. So if you put out a strong opinion, you're going to get a lot of blowback from people who disagree with you. So to give an example, last year when the whole thing was going down with diversity in comics, there was a lot of going back and forth on Twitter when Antarctic Press picked up the book, and then literally in 24 hours, because of Mark Wade phoned them and interfered, they decided, okay, now we're going to drop the book. So a lot of people came out giving their opinions, sharing that, oh, well, you know, we're not, and a lot of comic stores had to come out and publicly state they weren't going to stock the book. And so anyway, they said they didn't like diversity in comics, they didn't like his viewpoints, and they didn't like this about him, so we're not going to stock his book. So then, Diversity in Comics has a lot of followers, so people responded to that criticism. They said, well, we disagree with you, and, you know, you're gatekeeping and all this kind of thing. So now no one accused that side of targeted harassment, because they weren't targeting and harassing people. It's just like someone, now if someone tweets something I don't like or I disagree with and I respond to it, and then 100 or 200 more people agree with and come along and share my opinion and disagree with that tweet as well. We're not some kind of organized campaign to go shut this person down. It just, I happen to disagree with it, and 2 other people just happen to disagree with it as well. That's what's happening with this guy's tweet. He tweeted out something, a lot of people disagreed with it. 55,000 people disagreed with it, because Brie Larson has a huge fan following that follows her on Twitter. So they're just going in there and disagreeing with him. Now, what they're tweeting at him, I can only guess. They're probably calling him, I would imagine, they're probably calling him sexist or man baby, and I would say there's a lot of that in there. And who knows what else. But they're disagreeing with his argument, and that's what's happening. So the people are kind of like, I find it kind of strange, because the people who are saying that Brie Larson is harassing this guy and this guy's getting harassed. Now, I want to point out, Joe Gill's not saying this himself. People are saying this on his behalf. As far as I know, he's not saying this. So this is kind of, to me, like these people are almost adopting an SJW trick. So I've seen like a lot of feminists, social justice warriors, for lack of a better term, use this exact same trick. So like an example is, there's a feminist named Lori Penny. I watched a video with her. It's an older video, but she's on a stage and she's debating with some other people. I'm not even sure what they were talking about, but there's an older guy who she gets kind of into it with him on stage. He disagrees with her, and then she kind of attacks him, calls him, like, starts calling him a racist. So he loses it on her, and he owned her right then and there on the stage. And so then the audience agreed with him and turned on her. So then all of a sudden she started to play the victim part. Oh, no, I feel I'm being targeted right now. I'm being harassed right now. That's like an old trick to kind of get to kind of, when they're losing an argument, they kind of use that old, oh, I'm getting harassed trick. And basically this, like, the people who should be against that kind of behavior is almost like adopting the same tactic. So Buddy made an argument. A lot of people disagreed with him. And to me, that's what's going on here. So in short, Captain Marvel, or Brie Larson and Netflix, they're not engaging in a targeted harassment campaign. They didn't once tell their followers, you know, go after this guy and make an example of him. Nothing like that. They just tweeted out tweeted back their difference of opinion with him. Now, why Netflix felt they had to do it, I don't know. I think that's stupid myself, but it happened. So that's what happens when you make videos and stuff like that. It's you know, it's like when you learn about boxing. They always tell you when you get in the ring, the one thing you have to get used to is you have to get used to getting hit. If you don't want to get hit, then don't get in the ring and box. I took the same mentality when I started making YouTube videos. I was going to make YouTube videos with opinions. Some of them were going to be opinionated. I knew there were going to be people disagreed with me, and I was going to take heat for it. So I decided right then and there, if I'm going to make videos, I have to get used to getting hit. And that's the mentality I have. And so I just expect it. I just expect people aren't going to like my videos, and I'm just going to expect people are going to leave comments disagreeing with me or outright insulting me. And once you accept that, then it doesn't, you know, you can just move past it, and it doesn't bother you, because it's just the way of things. So that's everything I got to say in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and I will see you at the next one. Thank you to all of my subscribers, and thank you for watching this video. And if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification when new videos are uploaded.